Senior Leland Shockley isn't afraid of bugs. He works with them every day as a part of the environmental health program. His focus is on both native and non-native invasive species. Here, we see him observing mosquito larvae and preparing to tell us about the 4 developmental stages.
There's 4 stages. You got a first instar, a second instar, a third instar, and a fourth. And for proper morphological IDs, we want the 4th instars like this big one right here, because all the characteristics we look at, like the setae and the pectine spines on the siphon tube, they're not fully developed until they get to that stage. And it's a lot easier to an ID a mosquito in the larvae form than adult form, because in the adult form you have a lot of this species complex. It looks so exactly the same. Like there's not dichotomous keys out there made yet to tell the difference between them. So you have to use, it's best to ID mosquitoes in the larvae form, because if not, then you're going to have to do PCR analysis, which is pretty expensive, which I can show you in the next room. That students are coming up with their own PCR assays to differentiate between different species that look the same in an adult form. And it's important, the main importance in IDing them is because a lot of people, everybody thinks, you know, there's only one type of mosquito. There's more than one type. Yeah, there's 273 different species of mosquitoes in North America alone. There's like 2,000 worldwide. So, and only certain mosquitoes can transmit lacrosse virus or West Nile, and those are, and Jamestown Canyon virus, and those are the 3 that, you know, we're more worried about, like discovering and tracking and surveilling in this area, because those are the mosquitoes that we have in this area can transmit those, and those viruses can come through this area. So,
with many different species, it's important to be able to identify specific mosquitoes. The new Health and Human Sciences building offers new labs where environmental health professor Brian Bird can help students learn to identify mosquitoes and work with them.
The mosquitoes that we bring in from the field are the insectary we can identify, and then they normally have one of 2 fates. We either end up preserving them for teaching purposes, or they'll go into a freezer for further evaluation, either in the future for assessing them for virus. Lacrosse virus is our principal virus we're interested here in Western North Carolina. And then we do some genetic work, so we have the ability to do DNA extractions and amplify a couple of target genes we're interested in using the thermocyclers. One of the nice new things about our new building is we have the ability now to do cell culture, and so taking the mosquitoes we collect in the field and actually finding out what they're infected with.
But Dr. Bird and the students aren't looking for just any mosquito. They've got their sights set on a very specific kind.
what we're looking for is blood-fed females before they've turned gravid, before they're starting to turn that blood meal into eggs. So, but we also want to collect some males just to show like it's a good collection technique. You know, we don't have a sex bias in our sampling. On this power, I can show you, but we're looking for these to see if they've ever been unraveled like this, which means they've laid eggs, and this means they've never laid eggs. And they're real tight. The skeins are real tight.